Hey guys, it's Core Ross and welcome to 6 News. So today we're talking about the upcoming content that was announced at the 6 Invitationals, and we're doing a bit of a reality check on it. The reason for this is that the hype has died down, so now I can look at this with a more objective eye and figure out when we're actually going to get some of this stuff. So let's start with the Chanka rework. So in reality, it looks like this rework is quite far on. They showed actual gameplay. He's lost the turret but gained the LMG as a primary. He's got a grenade launcher which fires incendiary grenades now. It looks pretty sweet and it looks like it's almost ready for release. But of course it's not coming with Season 1. It's not in the test server, it's not been announced, and they didn't give any dates for it. I would assume the best bet is going to be Season 2. So if it comes out in Season 2, that'll be great. I would have loved to have seen it earlier, but I think in reality, more than likely we'll see this being released for around about Season 2 of Year 5. Now moving on, we have the proximity alarm. So this is something that was teased over a year ago by the developers in the Harry photo. It even had the same design back then, which is crazy. And of course, we actually have gameplay of it. So it looks like it's been kind of well developed and it's almost there. I think again, this is probably something we'll see for Season 2. I'm hoping this will drop onto the test server at some point during Season 1 so that we can kind of test it out and see exactly how it works. And if it's worth like dropping other gadgets for. But talking about secondary gadgets, we have the secondary hard breaching gadget. So this will be a gadget for attackers that allowing them to actually breach reinforced walls and reinforced hatches. From the sounds of it, from the developers and what they said, you'll be able to use one of these to pop a reinforced hatch, or maybe a couple to pop in through a reinforced wall to make a hole you can actually get through. So it's quite interesting. The mechanics of this are pretty simple, but we didn't actually see gameplay of it, so we don't know how far along the development is at this point. I would assume that because we didn't see gameplay, that maybe it will take a little bit longer before we see it. So I would just, like to say Season 3. I would love to see it for Season 2, and it's totally possible, but I think this might be a Season 3 gadget. However, maybe they will actually release both of these new gadgets for Season 2. Now moving on to something completely different, we have the Ping 2.0 system. So this is going to be on test servers in the first half of Year 5, and it seems very interesting. The worry I have about this is it actually going to clutter up your UI? Because I quite like the Rainbow Six UI. It doesn't have too many things that get in the way. So what's going to happen when we have all these different gadgets just pinged everywhere? Is it going to get a little bit too cluttered and get in the way? But overall, I do like the idea of being able to communicate with my team without actually having to speak, which is great as well. And it also means if I put up this little symbol, it might mean that I don't forget about that, Capcan trap later on during the match, because it might still be pinged for me later. So that'll be really handy. So yeah, overall, this is interesting. They did specifically say that this is going to be the test server first half of Year 5. So that means either Season 1 or Season 2, it'll be in the test server, but it might not actually come until Season 3 or even Season 4. So I'd put probably Season 4 for the actual release date for this. Next up, we have match replays. So they said specifically that this is going to be pre-alpha in the first half of Year 5 on the test servers.
You're going to be able to play a pre-alpha version in the test server during the first half of Year 5 too,
with an unknown release date. So could see on the test servers either Season 1 or 2, and then actual release date, I would actually say probably Season 4 or even Year 6 for this. They also specifically said that the camera views will be from all the players' perspectives plus the spectator cam. So no free camera, but they also did say that they're totally open to looking at other options and other features for this, because they plan to build on it over the years. So there's probably a lot going into this. They even said they actually built an entire development cell just for this feature called the Watch Cell. So that's a lot of developers just working on getting this feature out to us. So pretty exciting, but of course it's a huge job for them to do. Then we've got events. So there's going to be one big event every season, just like we currently have with the Road to SI, with the April Fool's event, with the Showdown event. We're going to continue to see that, and it sounds like every single event will be different. But moving from that on to what we're getting new, which is the arcade playlist. So these are going to be, and they're going to be specifically, they said, weekend playlists where it'll be different stuff. And the first one is going to be Golden Gun. So this is going to be a weekend special. It's going to be a pop-up playlist, and sounds pretty cool. Hopefully there'll be quite a few of these per season. And also, I wouldn't mind these coming back over and over quite quickly. Like, if Golden Gun comes up this month and then it also comes up next month, you know, perfectly happy with that. That'd be awesome. Now up next is map bans. So this is actually something a lot of people are surprisingly excited about. I've seen a lot of hype over this, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it will make the game better, but I'm not too fussed about it turning up pretty soon or anything like that. However, it seems like a simple enough feature, but they did say specifically that they're going to see this coming sometime in year 5, so it didn't sound like it was anytime soon. So I'm going to say maybe season 3, possibly season 4, but I would love to see this around about season 3. That'd be pretty good timing, I think. Then we've got one of the biggest ones, the reputation system. Of course, development time for this one is huge. This will take a lot of time, a lot of testing, and it is going to be a very long time, I think, before we see this. And they didn't actually say any timing on this at all for release date. So more than likely, I would imagine the very end of year 5 or maybe going into year 6. But, you know, hopefully it will come with year 5. But certainly it's going to take a long time to get this developed. Then we've got something completely different. So it's the Rainbow Six Cup. So this will be an in-game event that you can kind of go into as a 5-man squad. You'll get put into a mini league that will be skill based, so it'll put a whole bunch of teams together and you'll be able to progress through it. So you can do this at copper level, silver, gold, whatever level you're at, which is pretty cool. And from the sounds of it, I think they're attempting to get this ready for the 6th Invitational 2021. So I think next year's Invitational, they're planning to have this going, and this would be perfect to go alongside like the Road to SI playlist, so that you can jump in and have an ultra competitive little playlist where you might only play, you know, a couple of games, but it'll feel like a totally different thing compared to ranked. And there'll actually be probably something on the line, like you'll probably get some good cosmetics for winning or stuff like that. So I expect this is going to be a big hit when it comes along. Sounds pretty cool. Obviously, the matchmaking part is going to be an issue, like how do you get smurfs out of that and stuff like that, or people that deliberately de-rank just to try and get into this special playlist with the lower levels. So yeah, I'm curious about how this is all going to match out. But if they actually pull off, it'll be great. But we're looking at least a year until this shows up, if potentially not more. Now, because this video is a reality check video where we're kind of just taking things back down to ground level and checking them out, we should talk about the house rework. So this is going to be a casual only rework. Now, they haven't specifically said that it's definitely not going to end up in the ranked or unranked playlists, but this is being aimed to be a casual rework. So it will be in quick match, but it probably will not end up in unranked or ranked. It's not meant to be a super competitive one that can make it into the ranked playlist. So yeah, casual only right there. And we should just get that expectation on the ground right now before season 2 rolls around. And finally, we'll finish with the other reworks. So this is annoying and least picked operators. This is what the developers had to say at the live stream reveal.
You guys have gone and opened the floodgates now. You've changed Shashanka, so does that mean other reworks are on the table as well?
Yes, very much so. We really want to bring more reworks to the most problematic operators of Siege. I can't really get too specific right now, but we have other plans for year 6. And if you look regularly at the charts that we release that shows the most frustrating operators or the ones that are the least played, you can have a pretty good idea of who is next on our watch list.
So guys, I'd love to know what's your guess for the next reworked operator based on those comments about the most annoying and least picked operators, because there's of course quite a few to choose from. Who do you think will be the next one? Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.